Okay, Mike Masato, CEO of Staff Driven Dental and the Dental Road Warrior, returning for episode 67 in the series. So today, the topic is control. And I'm sure I've alluded to control in an earlier episode, but I really want to point it out today because it comes up a lot as an issue in practices, because control gets a bad rap when it comes to management. You know, when you say the word control, when I say the word control to you, do positive or negative connotations come to mind? You know, control. It's like, obviously the feeling is negative. It's almost like there's a negative connotation. Like it's like force and duress and coercion. Like, I won't be controlled. I'm a rebel. I'm a rogue. I'll do whatever I want to do because I'm the boss. See, that's not what control is all about. When I talk about control and when I teach about control to me and what I teach is a positive direction. That's really what control is putting positive direction on something. Right? Like when you're driving, for example, it's a good thing to have control of your vehicle. And really, when you reference control, there's only two ways to look at control. It's either control or no control. There's really no such thing, if you think about it, as bad control. You ever see someone with bad control of a car? I always have good control of the car, despite what everybody out there thinks. I have great control of the car and able to see the road and paying great attention, even though I'm speaking to you. But control. So bad control is basically no control, really. And in your practice, how many times have you said, you know, things feel out of control here? Or I hear all the time, it's chaotic here, it's crazy here, right? That's an indicator that things that you don't have control going on. And that's a bad thing, because control basically equals income. Control equals income. Remember that economics formula. It's a very advanced economics formula. Control equals income. The more control you have, the more money you make. The less control you have, the less money you make. You know, the more control you have over your team, the better. The more control you have over your patients, your finances, all right, your schedule. All of that makes for a saner, better life in practice, and of course, more money in practice. But again, we spend so little time on control and looking at it. What creates control in a practice? All right. First of all, you know, how do you get control to happen? Well, first of all, Doc, sometimes, you know, the reason why I named my company Staff Driven Dental is because you have to be able to give up some of the control and allow others to control in the practice. Because, you know, if the feeling is, if you feel, a way to measure control in your practice, if you feel you have to do all the work all the time just to get it right, and I hear this from doctors all the time, well, I got to stay late, I got to come in an extra day, I come in on my day off to do all these piles of paperwork and other work that doesn't get done during normal office hours. That is an indictment on you as to the fact that place is not under control, because you're paying all these people to not have control, and then you end up doing it, or you feel you have to. Right? You shouldn't. It doesn't work for staff that you feel you have to bypass them, get in their space, and do their work for them. And you know, it never works out well. You know, for example, you know, staff love it when things are slower in a practice, and here comes the doctor, because you don't have holes in your schedule, you know, and you start hovering around the front desk and in the schedule and stuff. The hover management kicks in, right? No one likes the hover management model of things. It doesn't make staff feel good, comfortable, and capable when you're in their space doing stuff. It's invalidating to them. You know, the idea is give them the skills to do it so they succeed and do it. Give them the training if you feel they can't do it or they're not doing it the right way. And trust me, more than likely, they'll be doing it better than you, because they're the ones that are in it all the time and they have a global vision and they can see the practice like that. And how would you feel if you're in the middle of a crown prep and the front desk staff wander in and say, hey, Doc, let me check this out. Hey, look, let me show you something. I bet I can do this better than you. Or let me try this for you. Or let me step in here. Right? You know, you first of all, it's laughable to be the case because they're not dentists, number one, and number two, it's just like, what the hell are you doing in my space? Right? Because basically, I'm better suited for this, or I know more aware of what's going on than you are. Okay? And it doesn't work well, even if they did know how to do dentistry. Right? So the idea here is, I guess, is to make people be able to control the practice, do this kind of stuff for you, and you can't do it all. Right? The doctor-driven practice has a very finite ceiling for growth. The staff-driven practice has really an infinite ceiling for growth, really. Unlimited ceiling for growth, because basically there's multiples of them in one of you. And if there's one of you trying to control everything, it doesn't go very far. You hit that what's called a professional ceiling. That's as far as you're going to take it. So if you have that plateau effect going on in your practice, maybe it's because there's a control problem. All right? So how do you get control in the practice? Well, basically training and development. Investing in time and energy and attention in training and development of your team, putting in systems and putting in policies in the practice right there. And investing in your team. Don't just hire people. Just don't have bodies up there, right? I've heard this one a lot. I need a body up there. Right? If you want a body, go to the morgue and put up somebody. Go get a mannequin. Do something like that. So it's just cheaper than having bad staff up there or staff that are untrained or allowing things to be under control. You don't want just bodies there. You want, highly trained professionals there. And, and they don't always come out of the box that way. You can't just invest in like, okay, well, they're all going to be superstars and they're all going to be great out of the box. And I'll just drop them in here. Some are. Those are the diamonds in the rough. They're one in thousands that you get a person like that. Comes ready-made, and jumps in there. But for you, again, to have control, you really have to spend time on working on the practice with the team. Again, putting in training and development, putting, like I said, the systems and policies in the practice so they can get more able at what they're doing and steer the practice in the direction you want it to go and make things happen the way you want them to make them happen, right? Having goals. Where are we going here? Having a direction for the practice. An understanding, a purpose of what this practice is all about. This is all stuff I teach in the program. That's important. These are foundational things, in order to run a more effective and efficient practice. But it starts and ends with control. But again, doc, you have to allow this because, again, it's hard for doctors when they bring someone in their life like me, because now, they're going to be held accountable and they're going to have to look in the mirror and they're going to have to change things. They're going to have to let go of things here because you know what? There's only one person in the practice that can do what you do, and that's you, unless you have an associate, right? So if you're not doing dentistry and you're doing something else, that's not a good thing. Practice is not making money in that, unless you're out doing some marketing event someplace and driving on your day off and driving two patients in the door. Ultimately, though, during patient hours, during office hours, you want to be the one doing dentistry. Yeah, control that realm of your practice. Do that. That's great. Right, but during the course of a day, all right, let the ship. They should be running. The train should be going, and you're along for the ride. But it's so hard sometimes for doctors. It's such a challenge for them to let go. And the more you want to hold on to the thing, the more you're admitting you don't have control of the place. And then and again, that's really what it comes down to. So again, a little bit on control today because I said before, it's come up a lot. It gets a bad rap. It's a good thing. Right? And again, your team can help you with this. They really can. Because, we have a blind spot to this, docs. You don't see yourself like this. You don't even see yourself or you're aware that you're doing it. You don't have to single hand the whole place. You really don't. This is a team effort. You got them there. You're paying for them. It's the biggest, line item every month in your budget, your salaries every month. Why not get the most, out of them, right? By bringing them up to speed, letting them control, put money in your pocket. All right. So I hope you're enjoying these videos. As always, share them, spread the word, and I look forward to being back soon with another episode.